Today we discuss about MCQ in polity. Please like, comment and subscribe my channel. Given below are two statements. Assertions: the Union Executive is headed by the President of India. Reasons: there is no limitations on the power of the President. In the context of the above, which of the following is correct? Options are: option A, both A and R are correct. R is correct explanation of B. Both A and R are true, but R is not correct explanation of A. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. Right option is option number C. A is true, but R is false. The Union Executive is headed by the President of India. According to Article 53 of the Constitution, the executive power of the Union shall be vested in the President. So assertion is correct, whereas the reason is false because the President shall exercise this power either directly or through officers subordinate to him in accordance with the Constitution of India. Next question is: how is the President elected in India? Options are: directly by Rajya Sabha members, by Lok Sabha members, by indirect election. Right option is option number D, by indirect elections. The President of India is elected by the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and the voting at such elections shall be done by secret ballot. This is an indirect method of elections. Article 54 describes the methods of the election of President. It says President shall be elected by the members of an electoral college consisting of A, all the elected members of both houses of parliament, Rajya Sabha plus Lok Sabha, all the elected members of the legislative assembly of the state. Here state involves the national capital territory Delhi and the union territory of Pondicherry as provided by the 7th Amendment Act 1992. So next question is: the two union territories which have been given right to take part in the election of the President of India by 7th Amendment of the Indian Constitution are: options are Delhi and Chandigarh, Delhi and Puducherry, Delhi and Daman and Diu, and Chandigarh and Puducherry. Right option is option number B, and Delhi and Puducherry. So next question is assertion and reasons. The President of India is elected by indirect election. There is a provisions of electoral college consisting of the elected members of both houses of parliament and either members of the legislative assemblies of the states. In the context of above statements, select the correct answer. A is true, but R is false. A is false, but R is true. A and R individually true, R is the correct explanation of A. A and R are individually true, but R is the correct explanation of A. Right option is option number C. A and R true, R is correct explanation of A. And the President of India is elected by indirect elections. This is a provision of electoral college consisting of the elected members of the both houses of parliament and elected members of the legislative assembly of the state. So next question is: in India, the President is elected by options are direct election, single transferable vote, proportional vote system, and open ballot system. Right option is option number B and C, single transferable vote and proportional vote system. Okay, next question is: the electoral college of president consists of options are elected members of both house of parliament, elected members of both house of state legislature, elected member of the legislative assemblies of all states, elected members of the legislative assemblies of Delhi and Puducherry. Right option is option number D, 1, 3 and 4. Elected members of both house of parliament, elected members of the legislative assemblies of the all states, and elected members of the legislative assemblies of Delhi and Puducherry. So next question is: who among the following are not included in the electoral college for the elections of the President of India? Options are: elected members of the House of the People, elected members of the Council of States, elected members of the legislative assemblies of the state, elected members of the legislative council of the state. Right option is option number D, elected members of the legislative council of the states. So next question is: which of the following are the members of the electoral college for electing the President of India? Select the correct answer from the code given below. Options are not mentioned. So next question is: the members of the board of election of the President of India are options are elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of Vidhan Sabha, elected members of the Vidhan Parishad. Right option is option number C, 1, 2 and 3. Elected member of Lok Sabha, elected members of Rajya Sabha, elected members of Vidhan Sabha. So next question is the President of India is elected by only the member of the Rajya Sabha, only the member of the Lok Sabha, only by the member of the state legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha, by the elected members of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. Right option is option number D, by the elected members of Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and state legislative assemblies. So next question is President of India is elected by Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Parliament members and members of the Parliament and members of the state legislative assemblies. Right option is option number D, members of Parliament and members of state legislative assemblies. So next question is electoral college for the elections of the President of India consists of options are all the elected members of the Rajya Sabha, all the elected members of the Lok Sabha, all the members of the state legislative assemblies, all the elected members of both the House of Parliament and the elected members of the state legislative assemblies, and none of the above. Right option is option number D, all the elected members of the both House of the Parliament and elected members of the state legislative assemblies. So next question is which one of the following is not correct regarding presidential elections? Options are elections of the successor must be held before the expiry of the term of the incumbent president. The president shall hold office for a term of 5 years from the date on which he entered upon his office. On the expirations of his terms, he is continuous to hold office until his successor enters upon his office. President's elections may be postponed on the ground that the electoral college is incomplete. Right option is option number D. President's elections may be postponed on the ground that the electoral college is incomplete. Presidential election cannot postponed on the ground that the electoral college is incomplete. The legislative assembly which is dissolved cannot take part in the elections. Thus option D is not correct, while other options are correct with regard to the election of the president. So next question is in the electoral college for the presidential election in India, the value of the vote of an elected members of legislative assembly equals state populations divided by number of elected members of the state assembly x into 100. The value of the vote of an elected members of the parliament equal the total value of the votes of all elected elected MLAs divided by total number of the elected MPs. There were more than 5,000 voters in the latest election. Right option is option number B. Only 2 is correct. The value of the vote of an elected members of the parliament equal the total value of the voters of all elected MLAs divided by the total number of elected MPs. So next question is which reference to the election of the President of India consider the following statement: the value of the vote of each MLA varies from state to state. The values of the vote of MPs of Lok Sabha is more than the value of the vote of MPs of the Rajya Sabha. Which of the statement given above is correct? Right option is option number A, only one. The value of the vote of each MLA varies from state to state. So next question is the chief minister of a state in India is not eligible to vote in president election if he is a candidate. He is yet to prove his majority on the floor of the lower house of the state legislature. He is a member of the upper house of the state legislature. He is a member of the lower house of the state legislature. The right option is option number C. He is a member of the upper house of the state legislature. So next question is in the presidential election in India, every elected member of the legislative assembly of a state shall have as many votes as there are multiples of 1,000 in quotient obtained by dividing the population of the state by the total number of the elected members of the assembly as at present 1997. The expressions populations here means the population as asserted by the 1991 census, 1981 census, 1971 census, 1961 census. Right option is option number C, 1971 census. According to Article 81 Clause 3, the expression populations means the populations as ascertained at the list proceedings consensus of which the relevant figures have been published. So next question is, which of the following is not an essential qualification for the candidature of president? Completions of 35 years educated, qualified for elections as a member of House of People, citizens of India. Right option is option number B. Educated. So next question is, consider the following statements about the president of India. He should be citizen of India by birth. He should have completed the age of 35 years. He should have qualified for election as a member of parliament. Right option is option number B, only 2. He should have completed the age of 35 years. So next question is, a member of parliament or a state legislature can be elected as president, but he will have to resign from his seat before contesting the election. He will have to relinquish his seat within 6 months of his elections. He will have to relinquish his seat as soon as he is elected as MP, can constant but as an MLA. Right option is option number C. He will have to relinquish his seat as soon as he is elected. Next question is, which article of Indian Constitution prescribes eligibility considered for re-elections to the post of the president? Options are Article 752, Article 54, Article 55 and Article 57. Right option is option number D, Article 57. So next question is, in there is any dispute regarding the presidential election, it can be referred to Attorney General of India, Parliament, Supreme Court of India, none of the above. Right option is option number C, Supreme Court of India. So next question is, which of the following president will appear before Supreme Court when Supreme Court was here election and disputes of the president? Options are Dr. Zakir Hussain, V.V. Giri, Faruquddin Ali Ahmed and Neelam Sanjeeva Reddy and Gyani Jali Singh. Right option is option number B, V.V. Giri. So next question is, the president hold office for a term of 5 years from that on which he is elected, which is decided by the parliament which he enters upon his office which is decided by election commission. Right option is option number C, which he enters upon his office, hold his office. So next question is, to whom does the President of India address his resignation? Speakers of the Lok Sabha, Vice President of India, Chief Justice of India, Prime Minister of India. Right option is option number B, Vice President of India. To whom does the President of India submit his resignations? Options are the Speaker of Lok Sabha, the Vice President of India, the Chief Justice of India, the Prime Minister of India. Right option is option number B, the Vice President of India. So next question is, the President of India can be removed from his post by the Prime Minister of India, Lok Sabha, Chief Justice of India, Parliament. Right option is option number D, Parliament. So next question is, the under which article of the Indian Constitution can be President be impressed? Article 356, Article 75, Article 76, Article 61. Right option is option number D, Article 61. So next question is, which one of the following articles of the Indian Constitution deals with the imprisonment process against the Indian president? Our options are Article 39, Article 60, Article 61 and none of the above. Right option is option number C, Article 61. Next question is, under which one of the following articles the procedure for removal of the President of India through the process of the imprisonment has been laid down? Options are Article 53, Article 61, Article 74, Article 13. Right option is option number B, Article 61. So next question is, the President of India can be removed from office even before the expiry of the terms by the political party in power by the Prime Minister through imprisonment, through trial by court. Right option is option number C, through imprisonment. So next question is, by which House of Parliament imprisonment may be imposed on President? Options are House of People, Council of State, by any House of Parliament, none of the above. Right option is option number C, by any House of Parliament. So next question is, which one of the following has the power to initiate motion of imprisonment of President of India? Both the House of the Parliament, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Right option is option number A, both the House of Parliament. So next question is, the President can be impressed on the ground of violations of the Constitution by the Chief Justice of India, the Vice President of India,